only teams, as we have they just didn't have a good Season 4, and it was unfortunate because they did so well against so many good teams, and they just kept losing in the ace match in game number 7. It was like a curse almost, and they lost so many times in game 7. In the end, it didn't really matter. It was like, okay, game is sort of over. I mean, in the end, it didn't matter because I'm explaining this really badly, but basically, they had such a good map score for how bad their match score was. It was kind of funny. Anyways, guys, to the top side of the map is from isIMBA, the 14-14ing green Zerg player, or the 13-12ing green Zerg player. And it is going to be Rotab, or 14-15, some kind of gas pool combination. And on the other side of the map, from Karnage eSports in the pink, is going to be Fulminator. So, pool first from Fulminator, quite an early pool, as he's going to go into 6 lings and a queen here straight away. So, this is a very fast pool, but no gas, which means that in the long run, he's going to start to struggle to hold on against what his opponent's going to be doing, which is going to be going into speed and a Baneling Nest, and to trying to, end the game kind of early on. So Fulminator will expand here, but he needs to get that gas down, and he needs to identify what his opponent's doing, so that he very quickly in this game can respond to it, and to start his own gas, and to, again, I mean, starting the gas is half the problem. He needs to identify what's going on, so he can make his own Baneling Nest, so you can defend against the speedlings. As we do see, Rotab is actually pulled out of gas. So Rotab just with kind of mass ling on a few more drones. This is kind of weird. A few more drones for Rotab, but Fulminator with a faster expansion and gases. So for a while here, Fulminator is going to be able to be aggressive, and Rotab is going to have to kind of be defensive. But then Rotab's going to kind of turn that on its head, and it's going to be Rotab being aggressive and Fulminator who's going to have to sit back defensively. Now this gold base gets taken for Rotab, of course, having pulled out gas, there's going to be plenty of minerals for that. So if this gold base taken, this could definitely come into play as time goes by here, but for now, we're just going to see that sitting strong in this position. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, if this isn't going to be punished by Fulminator, which I guess it won't because he's not got any gas, then this is actually quite a nice start to the game from Rotab. Again, a gold base early for free, and a bit of a hidden gold base too, so this actually could continue to mind game Fulminator, who will continue to see lings moving across the map here, Baneling Nest as well. But if he never sees them drones go to the gold base, well, that again will just cause issues as Queen comes down to the low ground. There's plenty of lings here for Fulminator, so plenty of lings, and actually has droned up a little bit too. It's just all about kind of having enough. And oh, what a bait! And what a trap, or attempt to trap, by Fulminator. He so nearly caught so many of them lings on the ramp. With the surround, it was just a little bit off, a little bit too late on the lings coming in from the back. As them lings are going to come in and try and defend the overlord. It will be defended. And the lings will now just back away, but Spine's on the way up here actually for Fulminator, and honestly should be completely fine. I mean, again, no gas, so probably going to be playing a Rotron very soon and going into double gas. But the Spines and the Queens will help to snipe down Banelings, and then the Zerglings and then the Zerglings can just, work against the lings of their opponent. The lings and Banes starting to morph in, or lings starting to morph into Banes over here for Rotab. We see that gold base is up and operational. That's something which Fulminator now realizes. So he sees that gold base, he knows what he's up against. And that's going to be, again, a little bit awkward here. But we're going to see Balin coming in, which just gets sniped down by the Queens. Good target fighting, which is going to be important when you're playing the way that Fulminator is playing. He needs that good control here to make sure that he isn't going to just die, because he has no Zerglin speed. It's going to be a very risky sort of playstyle for him for a while, as against the Banelings, etc. But good control so far, and actually defends very well. Comes out of this right now with a supply lead. A few drones, in fact quite a lot of drones, and will have that income advantage despite the gold base of Rotab over to the left hand side of the map. Rotron drops down for both players at actually very similar times. So what Fulminator has gained from this is kind of a opportunity to have a few more drones, but that's slightly negated by the fast gold base of Rotab. And they're both going to go into Roaches at very similar times, so and Rotab's going to have the advantage of Zerglin speed to use throughout the rest of the game as well. That's always going to be something that you can use throughout the game, right? I mean, Zerglin speed is going to be useful for sniping down bases, especially as you get in towards the free base play. Sniping down a base which is blown of your opponent running by, etc. Lings can be very useful then, whereas these Lings of Fulminator are not going to be quite as useful, as we see. He will just sit back defensively still for now. We have a Spine. There was a second Spine. I guess he might have cancelled it, which would have made sense, because there wasn't really much need to let it finish. Again, I mean, Fulminator defending well right now. Currently 11 workers ahead, which in the income tab puts him about 100 minerals or so a minute ahead. And just pulling away from those Banelings. But the Baneling does actually find one good connection down here. Another Baneling still alive. And Fulminator does have a couple of roaches on the way out. They're not going to be here for a couple of moments, though. He loses a queen with a lot of energy on it, which is a little bit unfortunate. So, Spine might want to come down to the low ground here. Gold base is going to start up for Fulminator. Second gold base for Rotab, though. That was, and this is going to be, I mean, the second gold base is going to be really nice. I mean, again, it's just extra economy off of the same or lower drone count. So, this is working out well for Rotab. Fulminator, because of the drone lead and how significant it is, still is actually ahead in economy. So, not so bad for him, but there's actually a big roach attack coming in from Rotab right here, committing to this very heavily. Defensively, Fulminator would have been in a really good position to deal with this, with a spine crawler up with all of these roaches, and he's going to bring the roaches back, but they're going to have to come in from a kind of weird angle without a spine crawler at the same time on this third base. Oh, this is really weird. I don't know if he can really fight this. I think he needs to really kind of, I mean, maybe counter-attacking would have just been the better thing to do, get some damage on the other side of the map, but it's so risky right now. As Fulminator looks to try and hold on here, gets a bit of a bear concave, about to have +1 weapons. It's 10 seconds away from finishing. If the roaches can survive long enough in high enough numbers for it to make a difference. Reinforcing roaches keep coming in, but there's also reinforcing lings coming in from Rotab, and I think Fulminator has to give up this gold base, probably just cancel it right now, because it's so low on hit points anyway. He's going to let it finish, but the lings come in, they're going to get surrounded. Spine Crawl is still not taking part in any of this, and Fulminator is starting to look like he's in a bit of trouble despite this upgrade lead he's got for himself here. Corrosive Bars will come down that spinal fall very quickly, tries to move out of position, but not in time. So more roaches coming in though, and I guess with more roaches reinforcing, he will be able to start cleaning this up, and he's going to try and get behind and target down the Ravagers. One of them Ravagers going down, but still so many roaches here for Rotab. Fulminator is still kind of up in supply, and has held on to the third base too, so if he can survive, keep the third base alive, I'd be amazed. This is going to go down, so very close to being worthwhile, not cancelling it, but not in the end. And so Rotab is pushed back, but let's look at the advantages for Fulminator. This was very all-in off of Rotab. 3 hatcheries, but kind of no tech, right? You know, no free gases, no lair, no roach speed, no upgrades or anything like that. So Fulminator is going to stay alive ahead in economy still, and as he gets a gold base up of his own, he's going to be able to build up his economy even further. He's essentially held an all-in, and is still alive with a decent economy and a decent amount of tech. So, well, it looked bad for Fulminator. Rotab is kind of struggling right now. He's got to actually go for another wave of all-in here. These roaches are going to greet it halfway out. Now, this is kind of nice for Fulminator. He sees these units coming out. He can kite backwards a bit. As, oh no, this links around is huge. The Corrosive Bars coming down are brilliant here from Rotab. But Fulminator, these lings are just nothing to him. You know, he's so easily able to pick away at them because of the +1 missile upgrade. Kill on the third base there, no cancel. But Fulminator has roach speed, and that roach speed is so huge right now because Fulminator can chase down his opponent's roaches, and Rotab cannot retreat as easily as Fulminator can chase because of that speed difference. Third hatch still not here for Fulminator, and in the long run this might be what just kills him if Rotab can keep him off of this for long enough, because that main base will begin to mine out shortly. A few more Ravages on the way, but still no tech from Rotab, so Rotab's still just playing this. No upgrades, no lair, no roach speed. So again, I feel like in the longer term here, it's still going to be okay for Fulminator. He just needs to get that third base started and needs to find a way to keep it alive, which might be with this army right now. He's got plenty. Lings at the front again do not do a lot against +1 roaches. That lair finally starts up for Rotab, but cannot retreat, remember, too easily because of the lack of roach speed. Corrosive Bars will buy time. Well, just a little bit of time as Fulminator just going to keep attacking across the map. Only 10 army supply behind, but a much more effective army here. As he has a few more Ravagers, he doesn't have any Lings in this either. And again, the Lings are they're okay to tank a little bit, but they're not going to be super good against the +1 roaches. As we see this attack coming in, these Ravagers just using their Corrosive Bars to kind of start splitting up their opponent's army. The Lings continue to stream in here, Corrosive Bars forcing the roaches back, and that makes the Lings look even less effective. As Fulminator on this side of the map is really making good headway and is finally getting his own gold base up, which is something he has to look forward to, of course. His opponent has had gold bases all game long, so as soon as Fulminator gets his up, that's going to even out some things, as he is starting to lose mining, as he is starting to long distance mine actually to help the main base from mining out quite as quickly. As maybe being a bit too aggressive here. Might be time for him to just split up and go home, but he's going to start taking a fight, and oh, this is risky. He's losing a lot of his Ravagers. He gets some good corrosive vials though. In fact, he continues to land some good corrosive vials, but does he have enough to really hold on to this? More and more roaches continuing to stream across the map, and actually maybe he does just have a little bit too much here. Still no roach speed for Rotab, making it very difficult for Rotab to position against these faster units of Fulminator. And Fulminator playing with fire, but it looks as though he knows what he's doing, because he's starting to take an advantage. His gold base is finished, so look at that economy spike up for him here in the next couple of seconds as the drones stop long distance mining and begin mining normally. Of course, the gold base over here is almost mined out for Rotab. I mean, he's going to be kind of down a base as well. Down to just 2 bases of his own. There's still a main base mining, because gold base is just mined out a little bit faster. Might not even matter though, because right now Fulminator just has so much, and finally we've seen one player start to pull ahead with a fairly significant supply advantage. It is Fulminator, who's 20-25 supply up right now, so more roaches still rallying in, still has his Ravagers in the back as well. Drops a couple more corrosive bars, he's going to move forward, stands a couple of corrosive bars of his opponent, but it doesn't matter, he's just got too much. And Rotab, what a game out of Rotab. In fact, this was a fantastic game. This was so back and forth, could have gone any which way. A sick hold from Fulminator, holding on for as long as he needed to, made the sacrifices he needed to, made the most out of a bad position when he was kind of moving across the map counter-attacking. And yeah, he takes down this gold base. I mean, losing the gold base is not super bad, because I mean, okay, there's not many minerals left here anyways, but the army supplies are just kind of game over right now. Again, no roach speed, no +1. Means that these roaches, considering there's fewer of them, these roaches aren't going to be enough for Rotab. GG will be called, and Fulminator is going to take game number 1, and they're going to put, he's going to put Karnage. It's going to be our orange Protoss player from isIMBA. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen, for DMC. And to the top left from Karnage eSports, our pink Zerg player is going to be Fulminator. Alright, so hatch first comes down for Fulminator, as we see a double gas opening from DMC, so already looking as though he's going to be hoping for some, or hoping to do some aggression, or make some aggression happen at the start of this game here. Hatch gas pool from Fulminator. It's nothing too greedy. Fairly safe opening, honestly. I mean, nothing too crazy, nothing too ridiculous. Cybercore comes down. DMC has 2 workers in each gas, or 2 workers in one gas. Now 2 workers in each. As it just rallies into that slowly. So it looks as though probably will just expand off of a bit of pressure with some early gateway units and a mothership core, etc. as well, most likely, in the next few moments. So I imagine that's going to be what's sort of happening here. The Vessel comes out and will wall. It might just be safety. I mean, maybe if DMC's a little bit afraid of what his opponent, of what kind of the ways a Zerg could be aggressive on this map, then it's definitely possible that it's just kind of a safety thing. Mothership core and warp gate stalled very quickly though, so again, looks as though we're probably heading towards some kind of aggression here, as we're going to see the Nexus dropping down on the low ground for DMC. Couple of drones will come in and start mining away on this mineral patch at the natural, as that base has finished up. Zergling speed has begun, and we've got our single drone here continuing to mine. Just one single drone, so a small amount of gas income there for Fulminator. Continue going into his tech later in the game. It's always kind of a nice, I mean, pulling out gas completely now gives you too many minerals that you can't spend, so you may as well just slowly mine that gas instead. And it just kind of sets you up nicely to kind of go into whatever you feel you need to. If you want to, you know, maybe you have a plan for that gas, but if you see something you need to change up that plan, then you know you already have that gas there ready to go, instead of having to just start mining it immediately. So a couple of gates coming down from DMC, as he has just expanded. It's just been a fairly safe expansion, but into 3 extra gateways. So He's going into 4 gates, and I mean, the thing is, without a robo, you can't really expect to be too aggressive with this, so be interesting to see what DMC's next move is, because right now it really does seem like just a super safe expansion, and I suppose why not here? I mean, this is the thing though, I suppose it makes some sort of sense on level like Crest to go for safe expansion because of the ways in which the Zerg can abuse this wide natural, etc. But what I don't understand is if you're so scared of expanding on this map, why you decided to play, you know, why you picked this map out of all the other 6 maps which you could have played on. These Lings moving forward, looking to see what's up, looking to see what's happening. They don't quite find an entranceway into the base here. These Lings are just going to keep checking around, checking for a fast third or something, trying to figure out what's happening. A few more sentries being warped in, and a robo coming in. I wonder if this is just going to be... He could go into Warp Prism and just add on 3 more gates now and just kind of 7 gate all in. It's not actually an impossible thing, and as he refuses to take more gas here, it definitely starts to look like even putting a pylon in the way of his gas, so if he was to start gas mining, it would be a little bit less efficient than usual. This would be sort of... So this could be definitely something we could see here. Just a big gate all in, or something like that. I mean, he's still warping in gateway units, and generally what you do as a Protoss player is you don't warp in all your gateway units now. What you do is you kind of spend all of your money on tech, and only warp in the gateway units when you really need them. So if you're warping them in now, that would generally be code for, hey, I need these, let's go attack. So DMC is beginning to push across the map here with this Sentry Adept Zealot force. And he'll come across and look to see what he's going to try to get up to. We're going to have a couple of gases on and taken here, so I mean, well, he's going to start Immortals. He's going to kind of... It's kind of weird. It's kind of some light pressure into kind of an Immortal, and I guess because it's a short map, or very small map, or smaller map than others, that you can kind of just walk across the map. He's not going to really rely on reinforcing this army at all. The idea is just to get some free damage done. In fact, if you just force fields here, it's going to be a long way around for Fulminator to get over to save his third base, and you lose a third base, then you're going up against an Immortal then as the follow-up. You're going to be in trouble. You might not lose the third base because there isn't actually very many base killing units over here, but there is plenty of drones. 4 workers killed so far, 5, 6, 8, and these force fields are just devastating right now. 10, 11 workers killed, and we're just going to see a recall out there. Completely free, just cost him a bunch of energy and he kills 11 workers, so that's great. And now Fulminator going to want to replace them workers, but has to be careful because he can't overcommit, because there is that robo. Chrono Boost now Immortals, Chrono Boost now out now a Warp Prism. And he's going to look to Immortal in here, going to march across the map and see what he can do. And Fulminator is making another 8 drones. He's not making units right now. So is he going to have the units he needs to defend this? Well, he's definitely not going to have a Hydra Den in time. He just hasn't realized this is going on. He sees no third base, but I mean, at 6.5 minutes, you see a Chrono Boost and a Robo Facility. Surely you start to realize or start to think like, oh crap, I'm in a bit of trouble. I don't think that Hydra Den is going to help at all. I mean, pure Roach isn't great against this, but maybe just getting a few Ravages in here would be the better solution to try. I mean, what's he going to do with a Hydra Den? Get a couple Hydras? I mean, I guess Hydras aren't bad against an Immortal sort of all in, but Ravages would be really nice to get rid of some force field blocks like this right now. And there's another couple of great force fields, and well, the Roaches, a few of them get down the ramp, but they're just going to not trade efficiently at all. DMC completely in control of this game, and it looks as though we can you kind of make sense now what he was doing and why he was doing it, you know. He is starting to figure out what exactly was happening, and you know why he expanded. It seemed like a very safe expansion. What in fact was a way to kind of have a lot of units early in the game to pressure with, and then to follow up with this all in. Well executed here by DMC, who comes up this ramp and just has to control properly now, and he should be able to finish this off. 2 Immortals still in the front. They're going to add on a lot of firepower against these Roaches. A big corrosive ball going to land on the Immortals, which is nice, but I mean the Warpins just continue to come in. Fulminator just barely has anything right now. He's barely building anything either. 3 Roaches, 3 Queens, 6 Lings. It's just not going to be enough. As he tries to stream a few more units in here, but DMC has way too much right now. He's just continuing to fight against this hatchery. A few more corrosive balls will drop down. Roaches and Ravagers continuing to try and fight to the bottom side, but the hatchery falls. More Warpins coming from our Protoss player. Reinforcing units again picked off one at a time. And Fulminator is just down and out for the count, pulling drones and everything. GG, well played. He taps out of the game. And DMC is going to give us our first series of this Team League season. We'll have loads of content for you guys all the time here on the channel. One game apiece, as we have the player who evened it up in game number 2 on level like Crest to the bottom left side of Orbital Shipyard. From isIMBA, it's going to be our orange Protoss player, DMC. And his opponent to the top right side of the map from Karnage eSports is going to be the red Protoss player. It is Avaya. So PvP is a matchup which has changed a lot since we last had a season of the Team League. Legacy of the Void, the pylons change everything. What we really see now is that it's very hard to actually attack your opponent, kill your opponent, and we generally see the game going a lot longer and generally kind of big Stalker Disruptor balls. And the game is kind of very, from the viewer's point of view, it can be very. It depends how you look at it. It can be very exciting to see the disruptors kind of go back and forth and get big connections on one side, then on the other side, and what have you. It can be very boring in the sense that it means it's very hard for one player to actually attack. So it is kind of very much so just backwards and forwards and jousting, but not really committing. So it's kind of in a weird place right now, the matchup. To play, I don't think players really enjoy it either, because you lose control of a second or a split second, not paying attention, all of a sudden Disruptor kills 6-7 Stalkers, and well, that could be game, but then again you can just hit Disruptor shot right back and you're right back in it as well. So it's it really is quite the matchup right now, which is really kind of all over the shop. I don't think I've casted PvP for a while, and a lot of the online cups we have, there's very few Protoss players actually. We actually in the SC2 Improved Weekly the other day, we actually had our first ever PvP finals in the SC2 Improved Weekly in 78 events, which is insane. And I was our first Protoss finalist since 2014 sometimes. It was kind of crazy. But just in general, not a lot of Protoss players playing in these online cups, and I mean obviously some do, but you know, when they meet for PvP is very rare because they are generally just not enough of them. So two very different openings here. It's a fast expandant of Avaya, and he actually pylon blocks his opponent's natural here because he scouts no expansion immediately. This is going to be really annoying because DMC doesn't actually have anything to take that pylon down with, so that's just going to delay him. He's gone into a faster Stargate here off of a couple of gates, so he's going to be kind of a bit more aggressive with this right now early on. If I didn't scout the Stargate, but probably has a good idea, some kind of aggression is potentially going to be on the way. These first two adepts of DMC haven't really achieved too much. They're on the other side of the map right now, but not really doing too much at all. Just kind of, they're going to poke in, and actually they will be able to get a couple of probes here, which they do need to do to some extent. I mean, they need to get some damage done, because if they don't get any damage done, then Avaya's just going to pull ahead with his faster expansion. 5-6 workers killed, though, is actually going to put DMC in the worker lead, as we see a couple of Stalkers popping out, and Oracle is going to start flying across the map right now. Probe here still doesn't quite see that, though. 7 workers killed total. So this is interesting. 2 more Adepts are going to get ready to go up into their base. The Oracle's probably going to hit wherever the Adepts don't go. So most likely Oracle hits the natural, the Adepts hit the main. Just try and split the attention here, as we do have a pylon well positioned in the natural, though, for Avaya, so should be able to deflect. It's just about the control here, but he's pulling everything in towards that main base. That Oracle hits the natural, but he hits the Nexus here immediately, as workers starting to go down once again. There's that throat overcharge, and DMC in the end, behind all of this, decided to just go and expand down on his low ground. So a little bit riskier for him early on, but on this map, in this matchup, you're probably expecting both players to move into 3 bases rather quickly anyways, so it should have rather little effect for him in the long run, I don't think, especially with the style he's playing, which is a rather aggressive out on the map style. I don't think he's realistically going to allow his opponent to move across the map anytime soon. Before he's realistically going to be, he's not going to allow his opponent to move across the map to really punish that base in the low ground. So no real issue there, as we see more workers going down. Avaya continuing just through so many probes time after time. And now that Nexus is up for both players, that is a significant advantage to DMC, because he's 7 workers ahead early on in this game, early on in this mirror matchup. And that's a lot of extra income he's getting every minute now that Avaya is not. So Avaya had a bit of a disadvantage, and his faster expansion unfortunately just has not worked out for him because of his lack of lack of success, I suppose, in dealing with the in defending, I suppose, is the best way to say it. Status is going to come down here. This is really annoying, because if you don't know it's there, I mean, it depends. If you don't know it's there, you can very easily walk into it, and then you actually block your own nexus for a little while as well, which can be very frustrating, obviously. So, nice little touch. I mean, it doesn't really cost energy, so I mean, you may as well put it down. At this sort of point, the oracles are not very likely to do too much damage anyways, and around the main base. That observer, though, just come out for Vine, does actually see the status board if he was paying attention. And for now, the observer continues to move across the map, though. No real reaction from our pros play. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter until he's on 3 bases anyway, so wants to take a 3rd base anyway, so he's not going to be super bothered by this. Of course, it's kind of hard to tell if he did see it or if he just kind of flew past it and didn't pay attention to his mini-map when he was going by, so... a couple of oracles. Depths? That'd be great if a depths could fly, that'd be even more broken. A couple of oracles here just going to move back for a little while, and they did drop a revelation. So keep an eye on his opponent's army. This probe does get caught actually trying to take that 3rd base, and I think another status ward over here could definitely stop this probe from stop this next for a little while longer, but in the end probe does get out, and the units come down to deflect the oracles from picking it off. So Nexus will drop here. 3 base play on the way from Avaya. Still just 2 bases from DMC, something which Avaya will see, but sees a probe down here and sees that his opponent is probably going to think of expanding soon. See very different compositions coming out. Not very different, but, well, actually it is very different. I mean, we see an immortal out for both players. DMC keeps building another immortal and keeps producing immortal still, as he has a few Void Rays out. And we see from Avaya, he's going to go into Robo Bay, which is likely to be probably for Disruptor play, but considering he has an observer on his opponent's side of the map, I'm surprised he hasn't seen this army, seen the composition, and decided on how he's going to deal with these Void Rays or how he's going to react, because Disruptors don't kill Void Rays, obviously, but I guess if he just goes kind of mass Stalker with Blink and Disruptor, then I guess it kind of does work, because you Disruptor the stuff underneath, and then you Stalkers can take out the Void Rays. Kind of an interesting one. We've seen these Void Ray play a few times in PvP lately, since Legacy of the Void came out, and it's one of them things that can be very one way or another. DMC's actually just been building up to a big attack here, so he's actually just going to be going for a big timing. A bunch of pylons on the way up for Avaya, who has Blink on the way, First Disruptor on the way, plenty of Photon Overcharge energy. Needs to hold on right now, cannot afford to lose this front line. Needs to fight with these pylons and with the army at the same time. Use the Disruptor to push back and buy time as well, because DMC is going to be committing to this very soon. Units continue to come across the map. There's the Warp Prism coming across as well. I like this status ward. It's a kind of safety status ward, because if your opponent now comes down here, then it's going to be popped. As we're going to see Disruptor shot comes in, and oof, that could have been huge. That is really big initially, as these Stalkers in the back are going to try and help out. Never Disrupt on the way, not here just yet though. These first few pylons try and do whatever they can. One Void Ray will fall. Right now though, DMC is still 30 army supply up. Another couple of Photon Overcharges will be dropped. This Immortal not really helping out too much from Avaya. He just doesn't quite seem ready enough to deal with this aggression. His Stalkers are stuck on the low ground. Blink not ready yet. Next Disruptor comes out, but he's going to need more than one single Miracle Disruptor shot here. I mean, he gets a fantastic Disruptor shot, but it's just not going to be enough. DMC has way too much. This 2-base timing is just going to shred Avaya to pieces. Avaya is not going to have much left at all, as we have these Stalkers chasing down the Disruptor. And going to try and grab the kill on it. Probes are going to be pulled into this. Avaya is just going to have to tap out. GG. And DMC takes game number 3 and puts isIMBA into the lead for the first time. So that's going to be interesting, actually. Yeah, that's going to be really interesting, actually, to see how this plays out, because I mean, Ulverain is an okay map for Zerg as well. If you can get up to kind of the late game, your base layout is really nice to kind of keep expanding. So that's really cool. So while things may look a little bit down for Karnage right now, definitely possibilities, definitely some good maps coming up for them to use. But it all comes down to this match here. First of all, Namshar, our red Zerg in the true, again, red Karnage colours. Our red Zerg to the bottom right corner of the map is going to have to try and take down the orange pros to the top right from isIMBA, it's DMC. I have to imagine that if they don't take down DMC now, Karnage are going to be in a lot of trouble. And it's going to be really tough for Karnage if they can't get rid of DMC right here. So Namshar has a lot of kind of weight on his shoulders right now. Has to win this to create an opportunity. I really don't think I mean, I don't want to sound negative, but I just think it's difficult for... It's definitely not impossible, but it's going to be difficult to come back from 1-3 down against isIMBA, who have such a strong lineup. And that's the scary thing about these qualifiers, you know. So many of the teams, it's not just in this group, in fact, we were talking before, some of the other groups have a much stronger lineup of teams. So we're going to see some real kind of upsets of some teams dropping out from the qualifier and not moving through into that First Division. So, it's going to be interesting. Again, I say this all the time, and obviously it's kind of true, because why else would I run a team league if I don't love the team league? But I do love the team league because it's so cool to see different storylines, and that's kind of what we want to build on in Season 6. We want to build on, you know, all the different teams and the ways they came through the brackets and the ways they qualified and how they, you know, who they've played against, the map scores, the matches, the players' performances, you know, how many matches have they won, stuff like that, some statistics, that sort of thing. So it'd be kind of, so that's kind of what we want to do with Season 6, and again, hopefully you can kind of see that already, kind of bringing a bit more kind of info onto the BRB screen and giving you guys the map profiles as well. The statistics aren't updated on those yet, of course, because we don't have statistics yet. What about Meshu? I mean, Meshu's pretty good as well. I mean, maybe we do see him come out as a Terran player, but I was just going off of who was still in the chat channel for isIMBA. I think that's probably their strongest lineup. I mean, Meshu's very good, but so is Curse, so is LiveZerg. So I guess it's very, I don't know, I guess it kind of depends what they feel, but, I suppose, I mean, yeah, I mean, sure, there's no reason they couldn't send Meshu. I just feel as though Kerr LiveZerg is probably the stronger duo of players. As Namshar tries to get a little bit of a scout here, doesn't really end up being too successful. DMC just going to move into a fairly fast-forward Nexus here. That is something which Namshar was able to scout. So he sees this. He's gone into a fast-free base of his own. Pretty standard game. Gas has only been a little bit late from Namshar. Looks as though it was free hatch before pool or so. But even whatever it was, he's got no link speed. Only just started to mine gas hatcheries. And just going to go straight into a lair and a roach warren and an evo chamber. It's just Namshar building up already to go in towards his mid-game here. As we wait to see what exactly DMC is going to show us here on Dusk Towers. We've already seen some interesting builds from him. I think this is what makes DMC such a strong player. He has a good repertoire of builds. You know, he has a lot of different strategies he can throw out at any given time, and he's very good at executing all of them. So that's kind of the strength of DMC. He's very good at executing his builds and coming up with good builds, strong builds as well. As we see a couple of Stargates coming down from DMC, so going to be changing things up massively from what we saw against Formula. No real surprise, a much different map here, Dusk Towers, compared to Lerodak Crest. And of course, I mean, he's already on a third base as well, which is also a big change up. We're going into this double Stargate play. So this, I would generally say, is going to be a commitment into kind of a lot of Phoenix here early on, and using those Phoenix as a way to kind of transition in towards the later stages of the game. And as we see, two Phoenix starting to come on up. So first two Phoenix on the way. We got a link coming across the map from Namshar. Just continue trying to scout, trying to continue getting information, trying to see what is happening. As you have an overseer coming in towards the main base as well. And that's actually going to be a really nice scout, because it's going to get in here and see the Phoenix just as they pop. So, I mean, then again, I guess that Overlord was about to die to Phoenix anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. And I mean, okay, maybe in the end it may have been better off kind of not doing it. But he sees the Phoenix, and he sees more Phoenix on the way. He sees a Twilight, he sees a Forge. Where's the Robo? Down on the natural, so I mean, he's seen pretty much everything he could possibly want to see. He already knows about the Robo as well, so I mean, Namshar knows everything right now. He's scouted it all, and it's going to be interesting. He's making a lot of roaches. Roach speed about to finish. He adds on a couple more drones now, and the Hydroden and Infestation Pits. So that's a lot of roaches to actually just add on. 9 more roaches, and they were definitely made after the scout of the Phoenix, unless they were made just at the same time as the scout. But I think it's definitely just after. That's a lot of roaches, and I mean, it looked at for a moment I was going to say Namshar's just going to try and be super aggressive, and I think he will try to be aggressive. He's going to move across the map and see if he can get some damage done to the front. But he just, okay, so I guess it kind of makes sense. It's still what I thought. He's just going to try and push the front. He's just already began transitioning. He's not going to keep on building stuff here. As these roaches coming across, there's going to be floating overcharges, there's going to be sentries, there's going to be an immortal as well. As the Phoenix pick off a single Overlord. Another Overlord going to fall here in just a couple of moments. So Overlord's going down, a couple more drones going down as well. 6 workers killed as right now DMC will be a little bit kind of preoccupied over at his natural. Right now the Immortal's actually already gone down, the sentries have fallen as well. Namshar is going to get some good damage here done at the start. These Phoenix are going to sit AFK because, well, he just can't bring himself to, well, he can't control him when he's trying to defend this. That was okay, lost a few roaches, but killed an Immortal, Zealots and some sentries, so a lot of gas heavy units there. That's just going to set DMC back a little bit if he wants to rebuild those, and that's nice for Namshar, who's going in towards this infestation, going in towards this Hydraless Den. And actually going for a Roach Hydra Infestor composition, no Lurker Den just yet. He's actually upgrading the Hydraless upgrade, the Muscular Augments, for the range and the speed. So it's going to be kind of a Roach Hydra Infestor kind of attack timing, and then probably a transition into Lurkers a little bit later on. But definitely not rushing out the Lurker Den. I mean, he could have had the Lurker Den completed in the next 20 seconds or so. And then, you know, then he would have been able to go into Lurkers, but he obviously doesn't want that. He wants this Roach Hydra of highly mobile composition instead. So it's going to be interesting. DMC is going to drop down his 4th base. Both players opting for what I'd call the pocket expansion here, which is just outside of the 3rd. Generally, it's a lot easier to hold. If it wasn't for this high ground, it would be the easiest base to hold ever, easiest 4th base ever. The high ground does make a bit of an interesting kind of feature to this, because the high ground means that it's a little bit hard to hold against certain compositions, and you can be punished if you try to take that in certain matchups. So in this matchup, though, I mean, without Colossus or anything, I mean, maybe some Stalkers can get up there, but it's not going to be the scariest, and then the Pro Zombie is going to be pretty stuck in. There's not like Medivacs or something which can evacuate the army from this sort of position. So lots of Zealots. Charge, I guess, is research. Yep, so Charge, Archon, Immortal coming in after these Phoenix. Very standard composition, but big fungal growths on the Phoenix. Wow, that is huge. But he's going to get away with a few of them because there's no more fungal growths available. The last Infestor not getting there in time, but still, that was 6 Phoenix or so killed off. 6 Phoenix killed off, so big loss there from DMC. Still has a few Phoenix left over, and, well, Namshar used a lot of his energy there, obviously, on the Infestors. But can DMC now attack into this sort of Roach Hydra Ravager Infestor ball without the Phoenix to lift up some of these units? I'm not sure. The fungal growth is going to be so important here, because if he can fungal well onto the Zealots, then they're not going to take part in this fight at all, and this is going to be very one-sided, a landslide victory even maybe for Namshar. But it comes down to them fungal growths, and of course that's what the Phoenix was so good at when there was super high numbers of them, just picking up all the Infestors before the fight starts, and then you can make sure the fungals aren't going to land before them Zealots are already starting to get into range, and when the fungals aren't going to have as big of an impact. Well, Prism coming across here. DMC hasn't continued upgrades or anything. He just now adds a second Robo facility. So he really is committed to this attack as another Phoenix goes down. Oh, I love this wall by Namshar. How do you attack into this as the Protoss player? You literally can't. I mean, how you just can't attack into Namshar right now. These Zero Chambers are just way too good. DMC is going to try it because he just doesn't have the tech to continue, but it's just going to be a massacre. The Zealots get caught in the fungal growths. A couple of Infested Terrans drop down. The Zealots which do start a fight, there's only 1 or 2 of them fighting at a time, and yeah, Namshar is going to completely destroy this. A couple of Archons fall. This Immortal is going to go down in the next couple of moments as well. Another Immortal is going to fall too. I mean, okay, he actually saves out of the War Prism, but I mean, really, I mean, that was just one-sided. I mean, while DMC might have felt like this is my chance, I have to fight, or I'm doomed, I mean, maybe why didn't you just go towards the 4th base or the 5th base, kill that, tech up back at home, go into Storm or something? I mean, it's not game ending, he's got lots of Zealots, but slowly just pick them up in War Prism, send them around the map, wait until the opponent moves out into the open. Well, there's a lot of better opportunities there, I feel, for DMC, who is kind of fighting against Namshar right now, but Namshar's just slowly getting more units in here, and extra units is going to be a little bit too much. Corrosive Bowers drop and take down a lot of hit points on the Immortals there. And the Immortals look as though they're going to get taken down in a moment. As the Immortals fall, Motorship Corps falls, and DMC is down and out! We really do have a series on our hands here right now, as we're going to go 2 games apiece between isIMBA and Karnage eSports. DMC still just trying to hold on, sending a few more units in, waiting for maybe some storms. He doesn't have the tempo. GG called. A lot of money in the bank there that he just wasn't able to spend. Sort of game we're going to see as we get set up into the game. And get ready to introduce our players. We're all tied up, 2 games apiece. Winner of this goes to match point. And that becomes very scary for the other team as we get into the game. To the top right. Top right? Okay, sure. Why not? To the top right. Our red Zerg player is going to be from Karnage eSports. It's Namshar. Is he the hope they need to take them to the First Division? Or... I completely messed up. I just realized what I did on the sub thing. I wrote Namshar instead of Crookerson. That's just it being completely in my head. Wow, that's such a fail. All right, to the top left from isIMBA is going to be our Pink Rose player, Kerr. That's so funny. Alright, sorry, my bad. That's kind of dumb, but kind of funny. Farfakiman, how are you doing today? Welcome to the stream. As Kerr goes for a 2-gate opening here, so we're going to expand quite quickly, but going to put on a bit of pressure with some adepts fairly early in the game as well. And going to just get set up here onto his natural. So a bit of aggression going to come in here early from Kerr. Namshar goes free hatch before pool, and he actually, unfortunately for him, chooses the hatchery which is closer to his opponent, so much easier for Kerr to push into that. So much easier for Kerr to sort of push into this position. I mean, these are kind of what I would call good positions for a Protoss player, because very easy to push across the map with choke points to defend yourself towards your opponent's bases. So very easy to push and be aggressive. And I mean the same. I mean the Fid base is going to be the same whatever map, whatever spawns you guys across. So no harder or easy to defend. Can be a bit stronger, I suppose, for Zerg if they want to do aggressive pushes as well and attack before the Protoss is set up. But generally, I'd say that sort of thing tends to favor the Protoss player more than the Zerg. So we'll see what happens here. Namshar does see these first 2 depths coming across the map. Now free hatch before pool is going to pay off for him here, as he's going to be able to deal with these adepts without too much of an issue, and maybe lose it. I mean, he's going to have queens a little bit slow, so he's going to have a little bit of a downtime here where he's going to struggle a little bit. But he's going to just be able to pull these back in. The adept's going to the main base now as well. He's going to take a little bit of damage, but he actually gets a surround on one adept here with these drones. The queen helping out there as well. And 6 workers killed. I mean, you're generally probably going to lose some workers to 2 adepts anyway, so 8 workers in total. Ooh, maybe 8 workers is a bit too many. I was going to say, I mean, because you're probably going to lose some workers to the adepts anyways, initially. Even if you open kind of pool hatch. I guess it's not so bad. I mean, he's already got 3 hatches up, so he can respond very well to this AK, just going to a lot of drone production at this point. As we have Kerr just sitting over here with this probe. These lanes moving across the map for a counterattack. There's actually nothing up for our Protoss player to defend this counterattack. So the slow lings might be about to be the heroes which actually he's got speed now, so maybe they definitely will be the heroes that Namshar needs them to be. As we have Resonating Glaives on the way up, by the way, in a Robo Facility 2. Kerr is committed into what will most likely be a very aggressive 2-base play with the Adept, or a lot of Adepts. Namshar did see no gas on the natural for now, which is some good information for him. He got up the ramp as well, and he actually does see Twilight Council, and he sees the Robo too. So he actually gets some good information there actually as to what is going on, and he actually has a good idea now as to what his opponent is going to be getting up to. So he has a good chance now to prepare. He has the Rotron on the way. Makes another round of drones, because you don't want to cut drones too early, otherwise, you know, obviously you're not going to have the economy to make the units you want to make anyways. And that's what makes Zerg very difficult, because even when you scout what's coming, you still need to know the right way to respond. So just because you're scouting all in, if you scout it at an early point, you still need to drone a little bit more first before you say going towards your units to defend. So you see this Warp Prism out, not actually moving across the map, which is a little bit of a mistake by Kerr, who now starts a Dark Shrine as well. So Kerr gonna be we actually see a catch on that probe there, which is a small victory for Namshar. Some Adepts coming in. The first few roaches are on the way now. Again, the problem here initially is going to be that these Adepts are very good in against kind of low numbers of roaches. That Spine Coil is going to help out a little bit here. There's no Spine over there, but roaches on the way over, I think, actually, Namshar. going to be pretty okay here as these depths are deciding where they want to go. A few more roaches coming out. In fact, this natural might be a little bit under-defended, as Namshaw's going to have to come over there from that third base. No workers killed so far, though. And that's, of course, one of the main things here. Warp Prism is currently in the main base. Not warping in just yet, though. As Namshaw is going to come in and he's going to be able to pick off a fair few of these adepts. Now they're going to go back over towards the third. The third base has that Spine Crawler there, and actually helps out quite a lot in terms of... Spine Crawler is actually pretty good against adepts, so... I mean, they don't kill them very fast, but in low numbers, I mean, it helps to slowly poke away, and it means you don't have to pull your drones as long. So this is nice. Namshaw's dealing with this fairly well. Another 8 workers lost, but again, you're kind of expecting to lose some workers to this. Now, the real problem for Namshaw is going to be the fact that the Dark Shrine follow-up has a lot of potential to do, has the potential to do a lot more damage, because the Warp Prism is already set here in the main base. Namshaw has no detection just yet. He's not really committed into any Spore Crawlers. He's not got any, well, he doesn't have a lair, so he can't go into an Overseer. So this is going to be really troubling for Namshaw, and he's almost definitely going to take quite a bit of damage in this main base. As 3-4 DTs get warped in. He sees this right now, though. He should see the DTs, and he has to start responding. He has to start building something, but he's going to lose his lair. Now, there's no way he can defend this. He just doesn't get a Spore Crawler up in time. And Namshaw, he starts a Spore Crawler on the natural and the third base. He has to try and just minimize the damage he takes here. But the main is going to be going down. This 1-2 punch is just a little bit too much right now. Rotron going to be targeted next, which is an interesting choice. DT actually killed the Spore Crawler on the natural. Namshaw again doesn't have a lair, so no kind of defense, no kind of detection, just static defense available. As these DTs are going to get picked off in the main base. Again, Namshaw's taken so much damage already, though. And he's trying to still get a Spore up in the natural as well. He's now down 7 workers. Up a lot in army. He's got DTs over at his third base as well. He used the drones to surround it, buy himself a little bit of time. The Lings come in there, will help out a lot too. Rebuilds the hatchery in the main. This DT over here is the one that's actually done the most damage, but will get cleaned up. So everything gets cleaned up here. Namshaw does end up with a Spore Crawler alive in the main base. And I starts the lair once again, but that sets him back quite some way from where he wanted to be. That lair should have already been finished by now. He's actually got no Rotor right here either. Of course, he's going to have to rebuild quite a few drones, because overall, he's killed a lot of workers in this game. 28 workers killed. Still on 2 bases. Looks as though he's thinking of expanding, or just cleaning out the third base to make it look like he's expanding, and then he might very well just attack across the map with 2 bases all in. I mean, he's adding on gateways, he's building another immortal. It does look as though he's just going to hit kind of an immortal base timing here. Rotron being rebuilt by Namshaw at the third base. I'm not sure if I like this, because it actually chokes him off more than anything coming through this sort of position. Now, so he is going to attack across the map, but I mean, 2 immortals is going to be very difficult for him to make anything happen here. He sees no third base as well, so I mean, yeah, he needs to be very careful. He cannot afford to get force fielded in with too many of these roaches, and actually, I mean, it works out okay. He loses 1 roach, a couple of lings, and wastes a couple of force fields, I suppose, so that's alright. Problem for Namshaw is he's working off such a low drone count here. It's not going to be an easy hold for him. He does have quite a little bit of money. What's his lava count looking like? 9? So he's got the lava to spend as well. He's waiting for the Rotoron to finish out, of course, because he lost his Rotoron earlier, so you have to wait for that Rotoron before you could make some more roaches. He's adds on another couple of spines here. I mean, this is a good position to defend, right? Because the most likely position for his opponent to attack into is going to be this sort of spot here. So adding on the spine crawlers here is nice, but now you can see him sort of having to choke through his own Rotoron, which isn't great for him. These Ravagers initially are going to deal a lot of DPS. In fact, the Corrosive Biles are very good so far. More roaches on the way. Them spines I don't think are going to finish, but they will buy Namshaw some time where at least his army isn't under fire. Can he hold on against this? The models are actually starting to fall here. The sentry count is getting low as well. There's some more roaches and lings starting to come in. Namshaw has a little bit more nice Corrosive Biles again. The Immortal's still alive actually in the end. The third base might go down, but that doesn't mean it's over for Namshaw. I think he could definitely still defend this, as more roaches are still coming out again. This little choke point here that he's caused with his own Rotoron is really just going to end up hurting him more than anything. There's not a sentry here anymore. There is a couple more now. But the lack of sentries is going to help him a little bit in terms of that being less abusable. Rotoron will fall, so no more roaches once again. Everything's just going wrong for Namshaw. The DT play was just a little bit too much, losing the lair. And it's just one thing he didn't quite think of, and all of a sudden Namshaw is down in this game. He's 20 for 30 for 5 supply down actually. Down in workers, down in army. And Kerr's just going to keep on pushing off these 2 bases. Namshaw just does not have enough, and isIMBA are going to take it to match point. Is what you sort of are hoping for. With cross spawns, you are less likely to have kind of silly aggression hitting you quite as early on. Vertical spawns would be really bad for you in ZVP, I feel. Horizontal isn't so bad, cross is probably the best. The process point of view, obviously, it's the other way around. They prefer close spawns for aggression, and let's say just because the third base is so difficult to hold, so hard to wall, and so on. So we'll see what happens anyways. Let's go into this game, guys. This is potentially our last game of the evening. If Kerr, our pink Protoss player to the top left from isIMBA, is able to win this game, this PVZ. And of course it's down to Prebz from Karnage eSports in the yellow. Going to be trying to bring it to an ace match. What a way to finish off the first day of qualifiers it would be if we could all go all the way to game number 7. Wouldn't that just be fantastic? Again, guys, welcome to the stream. Wardy here, covering the Team League, SC2 Improved Team League action for you all today. If you are enjoying the show, make sure you hit that follow button, see when we go live again in the future, see when all of the Team League content is going up. Again, our website, sc2improved.net/SC2ITL, is also a fantastic place to keep up to date with everything going on in the Team League. Of course, if you're really enjoying the show and want to help support me streaming and continue to do this full time and putting all the time into the extra production and stuff for the tournament and putting on another season of the league and stuff like that, then please do consider subbing or donating. It's much appreciated. But of course, what really helps is just spreading the word as well. I mean, if you guys can't sub or donate, but you want to help out the Team League, go tell people about it. Go on Team Liquid and post on the Team Liquid thread we have there. Be like, yo, these games are great, you guys should watch. You know, go on Reddit and tell people, or just tell your friends and stuff like that. Tell your clan members, I don't know. Spread the word. It helps out so much. Spreading the word is actually one of the best things you can do to help support the stream and to support the Team League. And it's completely free. It just takes a couple minutes. Anyways, what is happening? Not really a lot, actually. It's very standard openings. It's, again, the 2-gate adept sort of thing from Kerr, who is currently scouting with his pro. We're about to find out that his opponent is cross spawns. And Prebz is going to be pretty much well set up here. Hatch, gas, pool, means he's got Zerglin speed on the way. First few Lings already on the way out to help deal with the initial adepts. Of course, he's going to have a Queen out a lot earlier to deal with the adepts than Namshar did in that last game. And so you shouldn't take 8 workers of damage. You should just be able to deflect. Of course, the Prebz didn't actually know about the 2-gate play just yet, because of the fact his opponent has, or because he just hasn't scouted his opponent just yet, as the first 2 adepts will be forced away. But of course, they will shade over. No, they do cancel the shade, so they're not going to get any damage done here initially, actually. As Prebz drops the third base in a very interesting location. So, actually, the way this third base generally works is that you're going to aim to actually take down your backdoor rocks into your main base, which can work out quite nicely as a Zerg player. Generally, you probably won't see any other race do this unless they're... Well, I actually speculated doing this as a Protoss player. You can take down these back rocks, because this third base, you know, you look at this third base very open and very kind of, you know, easily to be attacked. This third base, as a Protoss player or so, you can actually very easily wall off, or much more easily than the other third base. And you can take down the rocks, and then you kind of just have 3 bases kind of close to each other. I mean, they're not that much further apart than these 3 bases. They're a bit further apart. That wall-off can maybe go a long way. So, interesting to see Prebz do this, whether it's to kind of trick his opponent into saying there is no third base, or what. I'm not too sure. But, it's kind of interesting to see the different third base being taken here. I mean, it does happen sometimes, and it's not a rarity. It's not the first time anyone's ever seen this. I just think it's cool to see, what I would usually just say for the Zerg players, the natural third base not being taken. Twilight Council, sorry, Robo Facility on the way up here. Making up Twilight Councils in my head right now. So there's going to be a Warp Prism and a Adept play early on in the game. Oh, actually, Stalker's warping in. Ooh. That's interesting. Oh, actually, wow, he's actually done something which DMC was kind of doing earlier. Kind of same sort of thing where he goes for this kind of push with a few sentries. And, oh, Prebz is... No way. Just doesn't have the vision of it. He's got absolutely... No, this is bad. Kurt did scout this third base down here. Prebz just has no idea this attack's moving out on the map. He scouted that there was gateways and stuff, but he has no idea this attack's coming in right now, and he's just going to lose his third base. He doesn't have any units. He's making some more Lings, making some more Roaches, but this army's out on the map, and he had no idea about it. He gets into a very nice position on the minerals. He can try and buy time. That's exactly what he's going to do with these Zerglings. Buy time for a few more Lings, a few more Roaches. These bases aren't connected by creep yet, so the Roaches are going to take a long time to get over here, especially from over by the natural. Ling's just trying to buy more and more time right now. And this isn't a big army from Kirby. He's about to start reinforcing it. But with this gateway he's been building over here, Lings are going to start coming into this. A couple of force fields go down, trapping the Lings in. Roach is coming in as well. Prebz, does he have enough to hold on right now? Because this could be the end of Karnage eSports First Division hopes. Prebz is kind of holding on to this. He's taking down the Adepts, which is kind of the tanky part. And with the next wave of Lings, he actually probably will clean this up. He's actually killed off a fair few units here. Considering that, I mean, he's killed off all these sentries apart from one. You know what? This wasn't so bad for Prebz. He lost, what, a couple of workers? He dealt with this very well in the end. And does he know about that? Does he think about the potential high ground pylon here? Probably not, because who builds... I mean, he's got a robo facility anyway. So it doesn't really matter, because he could just warp prism. And, you know, obviously if he just gets a warp prism, then the pylon over here doesn't matter, although then the warp prism can be used for... oh, that's not good. The warp prism can just be used to kind of pick up units into micro instead of having to reinforce, so that would be nice. Some Spine's going to come up here, and they're going to come up now, but are they going to be here in time? I mean, this is a fairly small map, so the army gets across here quite fast, even in cross spawns. Prebz is still just spamming out units, and he's got some more Lings on the way, some more Roaches. These two Spines just aren't going to be here in time, though, are they? I don't think they are. Prebz and Karnage might be in a little bit of trouble. These two Spines are going to be under attack, and Prebz just realized he can't fight into that just yet. I don't think that was a cancel. Ravager shot comes down, actually going to land right in the middle of this army. Another Ravager drops down a shot as well. The Lings are currently being blocked by their own Roaches. Zealots in the front need to go down fast, because the faster them Zealots go down, the more time the Lings have to work away against the rest of this army. But Prebz is losing a lot right now. He's down in supply by about 20 supply. Oh no, Karnage. This might be goodbye to Karnage eSports' chance for the First Division. A Ravager Cocoon comes up over here. And another third base is down. I mean, Kerr's so far ahead in the supply in this build once again. Prebz was just, I think in the end he probably did just take too long to push back that first army, because he just didn't quite see his opponent moving out onto the map. That was so unlucky, and Prebz is running low on units. +1's about to finish, but that's not going to really come into this game at all. And this build, we've seen a similar thing 2 times today, and it's won 2 maps in PvZ for isIMBA against Karnage. The drones are going to be pulled. Last ditch effort from Prebz. 14 more workers go down, and Kerr is going to send isIMBA into the First Division for the first time in the SC2 Improved Team League. And they're going to be joining the likes of Team Liquid, Acer, My Insanity, Root Millennium, Team Extreme Supremacy / True Esports, AT Gaming, EC Visualize, and more. Prebz just cannot believe it. Types out the GG. And he just didn't have enough in the end. Kerr sends isIMBA into the finals. Not the finals, into